And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. I'm Callum. That's Kyle. Kyle, how are we doing today?
I'm doing all right, yeah. I'm excited to talk about Barbie and Oppenheimer. I don't want to go into it too much because obviously we're seeing it tomorrow.
Are you fucking drinking? Are you fucking drinking?
Fucking tired as well.
Kyle, I can't market this towards children now because you've drank within the first 30 seconds of the video.
Hey man, fuck the kid.
Why? Me and you need to talk after this because you've got a serious problem. It's probably because of that. Why, when we get to Secret Invasion, you're going to get told, stop fucking drinking! Are you downing it? Are you downing it? Don't down it. Right. Well, well, Kyle's an alcoholic. Always has been. Always will be. We can't change him. Yep, still going for it. You know, hopefully you're not drinking too much, Kyle, because we've got a busy day tomorrow.
Amen to that.
Yeah, fuck it. Right. I think he's getting a bit ahead of himself because we're not going to be doing Fuck It Friday tomorrow because tomorrow we are seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer in the same night. We're doing Barbenheimer. We're doing it. It's going to be great.
I can't believe we're actually doing Barbieheimer.
Well, we're going to get into that, but the first one we're going to talk about is Oppenheimer. You know, reviews came out around about the same day. You know, they both came out yesterday, but there wasn't really a lot to talk about yesterday, so we're trying to scale back a little bit and just not force a video out every day. But you're going to probably get 2 tomorrow, and maybe 2 on Saturday as well. 2 reviews on Saturday. But the reviews are out for Oppenheimer. It's holding a 93% at the moment on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Right, he's drank to that. I mean, I expected not less from Christopher Nolan, especially when he's tackling a subject matter like this, when he, has to take it seriously. It's good to see. What do you think of the Rotten Tomato score? Where's your excitement now for Oppenheimer? Considering I think this was your most anticipated film of the year, or one of your most anticipated films of the year. Where are you now?
I'm not surprised it's at a 93. I'd say I'd be shocked if it was in the 80, 80 margin part. But it's not, thank God. So I'm just very excited. Everything I've heard is just phenomenal. And I can't wait. My excited. It's not elevated my excitement because my excitement is like peak right now. It's like it can't go any higher.
Yeah.
It's just I think this is just like a nice little bit of confirmation that the movie's good. So,
I think it's going to be great. This just reaffirms it. I'm going to hold back just a little bit because I went into Mission Impossible last week and kind of spoilt myself a bit when I saw the 99% Rotten Tomatoes. I love Mission Impossible, but I saw the 99% and thought the film was going to be perfect. It wasn't, but it was still really good. I do still think, though, this is going to be amazing. Christopher Nolan, back at it, doing what he does best. This time with Cillian Murphy as a leading man. They've worked together so much. It's Cillian Murphy's time to shine. Looks like there's going to be great performances all around. People are saying this is Nolan's best film. They were saying that when they just came out of seeing it, when they could have a social media reaction last week. And they're still saying that in the reviews. This might be Nolan's best film. And Nolan's got a lot of good films. And if this is his best, I find it hard that Guardians is still going to be my favourite film by the end of the year. Look at what we've got coming out. This, Barbie, Dune Part 2 are all things. I don't think Barbie will knock it off. I think Barbie's going to be fun. But this might. James Gunn's shaking right now because I might take him off the top of my list. But just wanted to talk about this quickly because we're going to go into Barbie reviews as well. And I kind of want to bring both the topics together. So Barbie's at an 89%. with 190 reviews and 94% audience score. So people who don't know Rotten Tomatoes audience score has to be verified with a ticket now. You can't just post a review. So that's people who've actually seen it. 94% of people like this film. Where's your excitement level for Barbie now?
I mean, I heard it were really good. Like, we heard people saying before like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. We heard it was supposed to be actually pretty good. I'll be honest, I didn't expect this movie to be all that great. I thought it'd be like kind of like, yeah, it's Barbie.
This
It's
started off as we were going to
comedy.
go see this as a joke.
Yeah,
Now this is going to be a contender for one of the best films of the year.
yeah, no, definitely. I'm excited. Do you know what? It's just nice to. I know both these movies are coming out the same day, but do you know what, right? I'm not even bothered or mad about that. I think everyone's like, stoic about it because it says there it's a comedy. It is. Look at the trailers. It's a comedy. We're gonna be laughing throughout this film. Like it is gonna be a good film all in all. But
Well, yeah.
for a comedy to get such high praise, it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy feat. So the fact that we get to go in, watch a comedy, and watch a really serious film, like a complete opposite, or not even opposite, just a completely different, movie, is just really good. So I just can't wait. I'm really excited.
And like I said, it's gone from something we was going to go see just as a laugh to something we're going to go see that's going to make us laugh. I can't believe how this has turned out. I mean, I suppose we counted out Greta Gerwig. She's got 2 Oscar nominations for writing. I'm pretty sure she's got some for directing as well. This might be one of the best weekends in cinema history. And a lot of people are doing Barbenheimer. A lot of people are Oppenheimer and Barbie. Oppenheimer and Barbie. But I'll ask you this. Who do you think is going to win the weekend? Early box office projections said Barbie was probably going to maybe make an extra 20 million on top of what Oppenheimer makes. But there's reports coming out now that most people who've bought tickets for one have bought tickets for the other.
It'll be very close, but there will be a definitive. Obviously, there'll be
Yeah.
some of that just that a bit ahead.
Just think
And
we could have our
honestly,
first box office tie for opening weekend.
imagine that. I think it'll be definitely Barbie, just because
Yeah.
it's gonna appeal to like the younger audience. You know what I mean? Like kids can go see this film, whereas Oppenheimer, it's
Yeah.
only really adults can
Well,
see that.
kids can go see Barbie, but apparently Barbie's a lot more adult than you'd think and has a lot more serious themes than what we'd think as well.
Yeah, I can imagine so, but I mean, it's still like, a kid can go in and buy a ticket for Barbie. A kid can't go buy a ticket for Oppenheimer. So, obviously, I don't know if people, like kids still play with Barbies anymore. I have no idea.
I do.
I know you do, but you're just a fucking strange weirdo.
My moon
Um,
Barbies. My Moon Knight Barbie?
Oh, I thought you said you moon Barbies, like as in like you strip them down.
No, I would never do that.
Oh, 'cause I did.
Yeah, well, an alcoholic would do that. I don't you?
Anyways, no, I like I said, I'm glad that we're getting 2 very good movies, 2 very different movies on the very same day, because it's just like, fuck it, why not? It's a friend of mine said to me that movies are dying, and like this is just clear evidence that movies aren't dying.
I mean,
Like,
who's going to say that when Top Gun Maverick came out last year and made 1.5 billion?
Exactly.
Maverick probably saved the cinema last year. And people are saying Marvel films are flops now because they haven't, apart from Spider-Man No Way Home.
And Shang-Chi.
Well, no, I mean, like, box office-wise,
Oh, okay.
haven't hit a billion. Since when was a billion a milestone for a successful film? Say what you want about Fall of and Thunder, but that film made, I think it was nearly $800 million. I'm not being funny. That's a successful film. It's not a film that flopped. But anyway, I think both these films are going to do great this weekend. I think they're both going to make. I think we're going to see them both maybe around the 90 million mark. I'm a bit optimistic, I know, but I think the synergy is just going to fuel it, and probably going to see them both around the 90 million.
I think Barbie will still.
Barbie will still win. Barbie will still win. But I think they're going to be a lot closer than people thought.
Yep.
Yeah, so can't wait for this weekend. Obviously, we're going to be doing 2 straight out of the theatre reviews on Friday. Well, one will be Saturday because the screening we've got for Oppenheimer finishes at like 2:30 in the morning. So I'm going to be dead because I'm going to be working all day tomorrow. Then finish work. We're going to go straight in to see Barbie. After we see Barbie, we're going to get some food, chill out a little, and then we're going to go straight into see Oppenheimer. So, great day planned. Can't wait. But what else I can't wait for? Something to carry us over, Kyle. We reported last week that Gen V is going to be coming out in September. When I always hear something's coming out in a month, I always think, your mind goes, please be the beginning of the month. Well, they've done us dirty. September 29th for Gen V, but I'm still excited. The boys are back, baby. Kinda. We said it last week. The boys were my favourite show running on TV. Like, that's still running on TV until Last of Us came out. But if this is what we've got to take until Season 4 of The Boys comes out, I'm excited. I can't wait. I know this is going to connect to Season 4 of The Boys. I know some characters are going to carry over, and some characters from The Boys are going to be in this. I know in that first trailer we've already seen A-Train. But, you excited? What do you think of a Boys spin-off in general?
It's interesting because it's not like The Boys. Obviously, it's done very, 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 very well. But
it's one show I will recommend to everyone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a new IP because it's not. It is an established comic book. It's just if I'm not mistaken, it's the first time it's been done live action. And it's the first time it's been put to any sort of screen. So, for it to get a spin-off, just means that the numbers, Amazon is seeing this and seeing that the numbers are really, really good, that, we can do a spin-off and it will be good. It'll have good synergy because it's people are watching The Boys, people are wanting to watch more of The Boys, and,
Well, I'm pretty sure Diabolical did pretty well as well, the animated show.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was just a nice little side piece kind of thing. It was better than what they did with Star Wars Visions. Personally, I didn't really get into Star Wars Visions. I get a lot of people like it, and obviously there's hats off to all the people that made it, because every episode was different. Every different art styles, different stories. I respect you. All the directors and writers, things like that, who worked on it. I just think personally it wasn't for me. I don't feel like, for me, it didn't target somebody like me. It targeted more of the more outlandish kind of
definitely
sort of thing.
But yeah, The Boys is coming back. Technically, kinda. I'm excited. Another thing to note as well, they're doing the classic Boys fashion. Well, obviously, apart from the first season that was released... speak properly, Callum, please. Now I am. The first season that was released all at once, but then Season 2 came out, dropped 3 episodes. Season 3 came out, dropped 3 episodes. Gen V is going to be following that pattern. 3-episode premiere date. So, that's going to be nice. 3 episodes. They've clearly got confidence in it if they want it to still run, instead of just dropping it all at once and being done with it. So I'm so excited. I just want anything, The Boys. I'd prefer Season 4 right now, but if this is part of their plan and it's going to make the story better, I'm all up for it. So yeah. September 29th, can't come any sooner. But This is kind of a redo of a story we did on Tuesday, only, same man, different franchise. Christopher Nolan. Now he's saying he wants to do Bond. This isn't like Star Wars saying I'd be open to it. No, he says he wants to do Bond. But he's also said he'd want to cast, write, obviously direct it. Basically his way or no way. Let me tell you, if you've got Christopher Nolan coming to you saying you want to do a James Bond film, you let that man do a James Bond film. You let him cast who he wants, do what he wants. I don't think he could fuck it up. So, but I'll ask you this: would you rather him see him do a Star Wars or a Bond film? I know you're not really a Bond guy.
I'm not a Bond guy, no.
But what do you think Christopher Nolan would fit better? Because he can do sci-fi, but he can do...
Like I said before, when we talked about this, he can do anything.
Yeah.
He literally can do anything. So, I'm gonna say this. I personally, I would prefer seeing a Star Wars movie from him, but I can see a lot of people wanting a Bond film, and I think honestly, personally, if he did make a Bond film, I'd watch it. I'm not really interested in the other ones. I love obviously the guy who I forgot
Daniel
his name.
Craig.
I keep forgetting his name. Obviously I love him as an actor. I think he's great. Logan Lucky. Have you seen that yet?
We watched it together, yeah.
Did we watch it?
We did.
Fucking love that. Cauliflower. Love that film. And then obviously Glass Onion and obviously Knives Out. Well, both of those films. I mean, Glass Onion's a sequel.
But, Daniel Craig's great.
Yeah. So he I didn't think he was great in the first one. But he really stood out in the second one for me. That's my personal opinion on him anyways, but I'm just not into the Bond films. It's kind of like I'm not really into the Mission Impossible films either, but I'm more into those films than I am the Bond films. Does that make sense? They just appeal to me a bit more.
No,
I think you know what it is? I just don't like British spies. The only British spy I like is Johnny English. I'm sorry, but that's not to say he's better or who's better. It's just I don't like British spies. I find it boring. They just go around London and have watches and briefcases, and whereas American spies are just so much cooler because they have all this high tech and it's all doomsday stuff, and I think that's what kind of appeals to me a bit more. So,
have you not seen any of the Daniel Craig Bond films?
No.
You will love them. You would love them.
I know there's like a parkour scene, and that's what kind of made me want to go watch it. But still, it wasn't enough for me to go like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. I might like them. I might,
You'd love
eat
them.
my own words, but it doesn't interest me. If I had the choice, right? If I've seen none of the Mission Impossible films, none of the Bond films, if you came up and said to me, you've got to watch a Bond film or a Mission Impossible film, I choose the Mission Impossible film.
Well, I'd probably choose Mission Impossible because the track record's a lot better. Definitely.
No, but I'm saying if it was a Daniel Craig, let's say it's the best of the franchise, the best movie of the franchise. Octopussy or Rogue Nation.
You fucking pulled that one out of the hat, didn't you? Oh, good. You've had that writ on your wall for ages. If he talks about Bond, Octopussy.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, but no, seriously, I would just I'm not really into the Bond films. It's never interested me. I get it; they're really good films. I've heard really good things about it. I just can't. I can't sit down and just watch them. Mission Impossible just appeals to me more.
A Nolan Bond film would get you into it.
Yes, just because of Nolan, though. That's it. That's the only thing that'll get me into it. But personally, I'd love to see a Star. I want a Star Wars film more to happen because it appeals to me more. We don't get enough good Star Wars movies lately. Like we got, like look, we got the sequel trilogy, and that was very mixed. I'd say it's more on the more so negative side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's don't get me wrong. There's really good things in the sequel trilogy, but in all, on the scale of good and bad, it sits just a little lower in the. So if you put it in the middle, you lower it, and
Yeah.
that's where it sits. It's not all the ways bad. Like I said, it's got great stuff. It's not in the middle. It's not like really good or really bad. Personally, I think that's how I see the prequel trilogy. It's like in the middle for me.
Yeah.
Whereas the sequel trilogy just falls behind. That's not like I said. That's not to say it doesn't have bad stuff. And yeah, so seeing a Nolan film, Star Wars Nolan film, it'd just be another great Star Wars movie to love, and probably it'd be the best Star Wars movie, to be honest.
Yeah. I'd love to see him do Star Wars, but I tell you what, if I had the option between Bond and Star Wars, I do love Star Wars, but I'm picking a Bond film.
Really.
Really, I'm picking a Bond film. I would love to see Nolan do a Bond film because he would probably make the best one out of the franchise there.
Well, you know what? He goes into any franchise, he's gonna make the best one. Or if you put Matt Reeves in, I feel like give Nolan a Star Wars movie, and give Reeves a Bond film.
I feel like Nolan would understand Bond a lot better. There's a lot of inspiration from Bond in his films. But I'll ask you this: you know, him basically saying, I do it my way or I'm not doing it at all. What do you think of that? He's clearly got the power to do that. He's built up such a reputation for himself. Or do you think that could be dangerous? Do you think maybe he needs some hands on to guide him? Or do you think his way or no way is the best way to do it?
His way or no way is the best way to do it.
I'd agree. That's what he does with all his films, his way or no way. I know a lot of people don't like Tenet. I think a lot of people think Tenet's a mediocre film. That's what you get for drinking alcohol, children. Did you just throw up?
No. When and it was really getting stuck in my throat. I had to get rid of it. That's why I muted my mic.
You should have just said you threw up because of alcohol.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just shit myself because of alcohol.
My mic probably didn't pick that up because my laugh's like really high pitch, so you don't get it sometimes.
No.
Like when I'm laughing on Discord because it's silent.
Well, I don't know when you're laughing because it's fucking silent. Fuck's sake, have you been on fucking... You've been down in some balls, some tinnies.
Nah, mate, I was smashed a Red Bull, 2 of them.
Fuck me.
Oh, how much Red Bull are we going to have to drink tomorrow? Anyway, so yeah, for me, Nolan Bond film, I think that's the better option. I feel like if we heard he was doing a Star Wars film, it would be a couple of months down the line that Christopher Nolan's no longer doing a Star Wars film due to creative differences with so-and-so.
Yeah.
Whereas a Bond
Yeah, well,
film...
they weren't there, but they wouldn't hire him to start writing a Star Wars film if they didn't. It's Christopher fucking Nolan. Like, you know what you're gonna get with Nolan. Well, not you don't know you don't know what you're gonna get with Nolan, but you know what you're gonna get if you hire him. He will want to do his own thing. It's very apparent, and he's just said it there and then. He's made it crystal clear. But for people who can't seem to, understand Christopher Nolan and how he makes movies, he's just said it crystal clear.
Which do you think's got a higher chance of happening? Nolan Star Wars or Nolan Bond?
Oh, I would say Bond.
That's that, yeah.
Because they've I'd say if these Star Wars movies that they announced, all these Star Wars projects and movies, that they announced all those years ago, if they actually became real and
were there, then I'd say, yeah, no, easily Christopher Nolan out of the two. But because films that get announced don't even get a chance to come out. So
Yeah.
Star Wars movies that are sort of like in, like just debates, it's like, or talks of like Christopher Nolan say he would like to do it,
Yeah.
but it'll never happen.
All right, and one last question for this topic. Who do you think Nolan would cast as his Bond? Because he says, I'm casting it, I'm writing it, and I'm directing it.
Um, well, he can stick with an original actor, but he can work with an original actor that he's never worked with before.
But we all know where this is going because there's someone he's worked with quite a lot. Is
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. If he directed a Bond film, he would pick Tom Hardy to be Bond. But maybe that's not the tone they're going for. Maybe Hardy wouldn't fit that. But I would 99.9% guarantee if Nolan were directing a Bond film, Tom Hardy's going to be Bond. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see much of Tom Hardy anymore, really. I mean,
Well, yeah, because he's always covered in black goo.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, he's just not in the big limelight that he was before.
He's still a star.
He is still a star, and he's doing big things with Venom. He's making a lot of money on that, and the movies are doing really well. But you don't see him in anything else. Whereas before, you'd see him as Bane. He was in all, most of Christopher Nolan films.
Well,
he was in.
Well, I think he was in Dunkirk. That was only 2 films ago for Nolan now.
Yeah, but his face was completely covered. I mean, he was, you wouldn't know if it were him unless you kind of pointed it out.
He picked him because he saw how he acted in that Bane mask. So he was like, I know he can do. I know he can be this pilot.
Yeah, he just likes to cover him up, doesn't he?
But yeah, Kyle, we've got some exciting news. Before we get on to our next topic, we've got a sponsor. And the sponsor is, for one pork pie, Craig at work has asked me to talk about his fish. Kyle, what do you think about fish? Like fish in a pond?
There's shit everywhere.
Yeah, they are shit, aren't they? If you have fish in a pond, they're shit.
I had a fish that had it was a goldfish and it had a black line sort of down its head there.
Yeah, but was it in a pond or in a fish tank?
It was in my bucket.
Right, Kyle keeps fish in buckets. So,
I was a kid, right? I didn't really know how to look after a fish.
Oh, add time's up. Craig, pork pie tomorrow. I swear to God, if you don't bring me one, I'll kill your whole family. Anyway, Kyle, because he's a raging alcoholic this week, I guess he hasn't watched Secret Invasion again. But I did, because I have pride and passion in what I do. Kyle, because he suffers from alcoholism, doesn't. But still.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've watched it. I've just drank so much I can't remember.
That's probably it. I will tell you this right now. Secret Invasion's up there for me, man. If this last episode knocks it out of the park, it's gonna be up there. And I think maybe we do a Marvel Disney Plus TV show ranking after this comes out.
I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I think that'd be a lot easier than a movie ranking, and maybe we do the MCU movie ranking after the Marvels comes out. But this is up there for me. Olivia Colman in this episode killed it. Oh my God, she was amazing, fantastic, brilliant, all them words. Obviously, we're not going to get into spoilers because I don't want to spoil it for Kyle. Well, I do, but I feel like he'd hate me if I did. Olivia Colman were great in this episode. Don Cheadle were great in this episode. Emilia Clarke were great in this episode. Everybody was great in this episode. Samuel L. Jackson were great in this episode. And the way it ends, it's only been the past 2 weeks. Like, I've really loved Secret Invasion, but I haven't been really waiting for the next episode. It's only been the past 2 weeks I've been like, God, I can't wait for the next episode of Secret Invasion. I don't know where it ranks. I think last week's episode was better than this week's, but this week's was still really fucking good. And it is on track to be. I don't think it'd go over. I don't think it'd go over WandaVision. I don't think it'd go over Ms. Marvel, but it might knock Moon Knight off the top 3, but we won't get into that because we're doing a video on that now. But have you got any questions to ask me about the episode? Obviously, no non-spoilery questions.
No.
Thanks, Kyle, for your input in this content.
Well, is the runtime good? Don't tell me if it's just. Is it good?
Do you know what? I didn't even check it. The story just flowed and it felt right.
Okay.
Whereas
well,
I think whereas last week's episode it was a better episode, but I still felt the runtime. It was like, oh, that was short. But I feel like this one just flowed a lot better. Some great action in this episode as well, and there's a big thing revealed as well, which you usually think would be saved for like the last episode, but they bring it up in the second to last. It does that classic Disney Plus episode 5 is the more emotional episode. It does that, but it's got the action in there as well. I can't wait for next week. We're going to be watching the finale together. I know that much. If Kyle can get there due to alcoholism or not, that's to be seen. But yeah, great episode. If you haven't watched Secret Invasion episode 5, if you haven't watched Secret Invasion at all, this isn't your average Marvel show. It's not about superheroes. It's not about comic book heroes. It's a spy show, and it's great. And even more and more, I'm getting them Winter Soldier-esque feels from it. Now, are they gonna land it? Are they gonna stick the landing? That is, as of right now, I think they will. And there's not, usually you get to the end of the 5th episode, and there's usually not. There's a lot to wrap up. It's like, fucking hell, are we gonna get this done in one episode? It seems like it's been put in a spot. They've left a little bit, not a cliffhanger, but they've left a little bit of something for us to go at the end, so we can speculate for a week and go, ooh. But yeah, loved it. So I think that'll do us for today. Kyle, anything you want to add? In fact, yeah, you do want to add something actually, don't you?
Yeah, just something on the gaming side of things. Apparently, we are getting an Invincible game. Wow, that's intriguing. But it's by Ubisoft.
So what you're saying is, like Avatar Frontiers, it is going to be Far Cry, but just Invincible.
It would not fucking surprise me, Callum, right, that if it's a first-person sort of open-world game where instead of guns or whatever, you have like hand blasts and you can jump a little further. Maybe you can fly a little bit. Unless it's doing something where it's a bit more out there and it's actually effort put into this,
Yeah.
like Star Wars, the Outlaws game. Because I feel like that has a lot more effort put into it. It feels like something new from Ubisoft. Whereas Far Cry Avatar is just literally Far Cry. It's just a reskin. Honestly, I'll be completely honest. I would have much preferred to have a game. I wish Star Wars, the Star Wars game we're getting, and Avatar we're getting, I wish that was swapped around.
Right.
Because I like the world of Avatar. I'm just really good that we're getting a very basic, generic shooter for it.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's got the co-op thing to it. But let me ask you this: would you prefer being like a stormtrooper? Let's say you're playing as the bad guys. Let's say they want to do something a little bit different. let's say you're playing as a bad guy, co-op with your friend or friends, going around the planets, the sort of mini open worlds, taking on bases, or even playing as a rebel,
And
or even
depressing the
playing as a
people.
Jedi, or playing away, you get the options to do how you want, build your character, because that's what Far Cry is kind of like. You can go in guns blazing, go in stealth, going from the air, go in with vehicles, use the environment, use the animals around. It would have worked so much better as a Star Wars game because you would have been able to be a Jedi or a bounty hunter or just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
That would have worked so much better. You know what I mean? They've already got like a baseline for the melee combat. Obviously, they enhanced it as much as they could. It's not great. I can't lie. It's pretty shocking, but it's they can tell that they put a bit more effort into it in the later Far Cry games, and so it would have if they really went into it a bit more and just added like a really cool block button for Jedi, it would have been great. And then with Avatar, if it was like a third person, in depth, really sort of just more expand more of that universe, expand the different side of the universe. Kind of like how the movie did. I would have been all for it. So that's my take on them.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but yeah, with the Invincible game, I hope it's just something new and not something copy and paste.
Well, that's they've struggled to make a Superman game for ages. I think this is the best way to do it. Make it an Invincible game, because then the collateral and stuff like that is a lot more comprehensible, and it's in this darker universe. All I'm saying is I want to be Omni-Man and just go to that flaxen planet and just fly through everything. But yeah, right. I think that'll do us for.
One more thing. It's not really like news or anything, but I've heard some things around. This is to do with gaming again. Tonight, a Comic Con, or something, some convention. I think it's Comic Con, or one of the Comic Cons. Apparently, Spider-Man 2 has their own panel, Panel H or something. Um, and apparently, we are supposed to be getting a new trailer going a bit more in depth with Venom. So I checked the time, UK time. It should be around 10:30.
I'm pretty
So
sure
it'll
it's
be.
San Diego in it. That's gonna be.
I think so. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
It's just not that people aren't talking about it because no big studios are going.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So I think we may be getting a trailer shortly after this video probably goes up. So if you're watching this straight away, you've probably already, to be honest, you've probably already seen the new trailer. If we get one, fingers crossed we do. So we shall see.
Yeah. Right. Well, that'll do us for today. Kyle, let's go be the boys in Call of Duty. Hope you've all enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, show us to your mother, comment down below, let us know what you're doing. Let us know if you're doing Barbenheimer. We want to know if you're doing it. Me and Kyle are going to be doing it. We're going to be at the cinema all night. We've got no lives. What do you think of Gen V? Would you rather just a straight up season 4? Or are you happy we're getting a spin-off? We get to see some more characters. And what would you rather see Christopher Nolan do? Bond or Star Wars? Are you Kyle camp with Star Wars, or are you me with Bond? And
I was just gonna do a little joke there. I was gonna be like, well,
you don't,
I don't know.
you
what
don't
I
get
think.
jokes.
I don't know.
You don't get jokes, alcoholic. You need serious help. And what did you think of Secret Invasion? What do you think it's shaping up to be? Maybe one of the best Marvel shows ever? Maybe. Who knows? That'll do us for today. See you all later. Craig, you fish are fucking shit.